how did y'all get started into this? Like, what led y'all down this path? Because I know it was pretty interesting. You mentioned it was a life coach.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The reactions are the best.
Or was it something before that?
Well, we had before that been teaching yoga and doing Reiki, and we were kind of bored. So
how long have you two been friends?
6 years? Yeah, 6 years. We're basically
6 years this say lifetime. It together.
In this lifetime.
I have 4 sisters, and they're all twins, and I'm the only not twin.
Like it.
And till now.
I'm out here.
I was like, you guys, I found my twin.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. Okay. I found mine.
Yeah.
Jason's trying to catch up. I'm over here.
I mean, we do that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Are we throwing gang signs?
I know.
I don't know.
What are we doing with that one?
That's a New Orleans joke. West Bank.
What is it? West Bank.
Okay. All right. Sure.
So I think we were kind of bored, and then do you want to tell?
Yeah, so it's my fault at the onset.
Your fault.
No. See, I thought it was.
It's Candy's fault.
I was at the end of a relationship. I thought I really wanted to own a yoga studio, which I had, and I had it for about 2.5 years, and I was bored to tears because my heart wasn't into it like I thought it would be. And so here I am running this business that I don't love, and Laura's, she's running it with me, and we're both doing healing work. And a good friend of mine who's super psychic finally was like, Candy, the healing work that you're doing is amazing, but you don't enjoy it. And I was like, oh, I don't. I feel so bad. I don't enjoy it, but I don't. And so I'm sitting at my kitchen table one day, and I'm just like, man, I wish someone would just tell me what my purpose is. I just threw it out. As a novice, just throw it out to the universe and let anybody answer the phone. And so somebody picked it up, and I got a LinkedIn message from this individual who I didn't know and said, hey, I just saw that you made an update to your LinkedIn profile. I'd love to chat. It sounds like we have a lot of things in common. And I was just at my wit's end. So I was like, sure. Because this person had messaged me once before, 4 years prior, when I made a similar call out to the universe. So this time I'm like, fine. What kind of harm can come from a phone call? Again, naivete. A lot can come from a phone call. So I talked to this guy, and it was a really weird call, the first call I had. I think he was probably assessing me without me realizing it. And we got off the phone. I was telling Laura, I have no idea why this guy wanted to talk to me. I don't know what the purpose of the call was. And then he started texting me. And he texted me and said, I got clearance from the higher ups to share my new protocol with you. I'm like, what do you think higher ups mean?
This is my fault. I'm like, higher ups.
And I'm like, but he's like an entrepreneur. He didn't sound like he had a boss.
But you had already had the experience with him where he was telling you all the things in your life. You had
Not yet. That was this. The higher ups had given him clearance to share this new protocol. So this protocol, I went ahead and booked the session. The protocol was, he said he was going to read my blueprint. And so he started, he read my teen years, my 20s, my 30s, and then talked about my 40s. And he knew so much stuff about me, things that you don't get off the internet. He was so super psychic and tuned in.
Really?
Oh, it was
this was going to go a different direction.
Right. He's one of the most psychic people still that I've ever met.
It was nuts. Still. So I'm telling Laura about now the second call, and then he starts messaging me about Laura while I'm talking to Laura, and basically says, I want to talk to her too.
He's like, tell her that lackadaisical attitude that she had isn't getting her anywhere. And I was like, what? You need to talk to this guy.
So we end up working with him on one-on-one sessions. And then he says look, I'd like to work with both of you together. And then I'd like to work with both of you independently. I see how you can work, be these amazing two women working together. And he just fed our ego at the time, said all the things we wanted to hear.
But he was right. I knew I was getting clear shadow work done. I was going to be getting work done. We're going to get this stuff knocked out. I knew that was happening.
And I was all on board. We signed a contract. We had to sign a contract to work with them. And the moment I signed it, my stomach dropped and I was like, oh my God, I just signed a deal with the devil. Boom. It was like that. I just knew. And I didn't know how we were going to get out of it. I didn't have that luxury.
I was like, some reason this is just going to disappear. I don't know how this guy is going to just be gone from our lives. It's not going to be that big of a deal when he goes. And this contract we're signing is not going to be a big deal. It's just going to disappear. I knew that to the core of my being.
I wish I would have known that.
I
So
didn't really share that with her either.
I basically we ended up blowing up 2 businesses basically in the middle of all of this, working with him to like rebrand, re-strategize. We were talking to him, I don't know how many times a week. I started another business with him, a consulting business. So I was on the phone with him every day, at least once, and we were wiped. I have never in my life had that little amount of energy for that long of a period of time. I would be out of breath going up the stairs in my house.
We weren't working out at all.
So, so at the time we don't know what's happening, and he's telling us, well, it's part of the growth. Like we're doing all of this clearing work. So it's part of the growth. So like your energy levels are being zapped. And we work with him for almost 6 months. And
you think he was draining your energy?
Totally. Like we just didn't know it at the time. It was like,
I didn't really believe in it.
It was loose. I didn't believe it either.
I know I fast forward a little bit.
Yeah. So we finally were like, I realize now I'm feeling joyless. Like there's no reason. I'm like, I don't even know why
one of the red flags was we're about 5 months in, and he goes, and now we're going to start on the shadow work. And Keenan and I are both like, what have I been doing this whole time?
I was terrified. This hasn't been shadow work. So I finally get up the nerve to Laura again. Now we're separated. She's in California at a wedding and I'm in Indiana because we hadn't moved yet. And I'm like, I talked to another friend trying to get an objective opinion. I was like, you know what? I've got to end this, and I've got to do it now because I feel like I'm at this point where it's just going to get more weird. And so I messaged him, or he messaged me and said, we know you're having doubts.
Yeah.
And I was like,
they did that a lot. That happened a lot over
constantly. And I was like, you're right. I really appreciate everything you've done for us to this point. I just don't really want to work with you anymore. So I'd like to, end our engagement. I wish you the best of luck. I was really polite about it. And I mean, I really did wish him the best of luck. And then he just starts tearing into me in text. Like, not a happy camper. It says that I had caused him nosebleeds. Oh yeah. You're going to lose all your money. You're going to these businesses are going to fail, all this stuff. And I was like, we're done here. I shut my phone off, and immediately all my energy came rushing back. I was awake until 3:00 that morning, and I was wired. And from that point on, I had all my energy back. It was the weirdest freaking thing. So I do a call with one of my really good tuned in friends from Sedona. I don't tell him what's happening. He reads this energy, and he ends up telling me that we had gotten involved with a Draco energy. The purpose was to suck the loosh and to repress the divine feminine. And so we were being controlled. And I'm like, oh my God, Laura doesn't know this. She's like, she's still working with him. And
I'm in California.
I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, do not tell Laura this. She's on her own path. And I was like, but what if? He goes, look, Candy, Laura will always choose happiness. Do not worry about her. She's one day behind you. I'm like, okay. So then I pick her up at the airport.
I'm like, tell me what Alexander said right now. Tell me right now. Because I knew she had
you really want to know?
And I was still wavering on working with, we call him Dun Dun Dun.
Yeah.
Coach. Dun, dun. And I was still kind of wavering. And I talked to him on the phone, once when we were in California. And I was like, I still want to do all these projects we talked about. And I'm like, I don't want to lose Candy. And, I was so stressed out on that flight going back. I felt awful. I felt awful. Luckily, Candy didn't tell me she was doing this until after the wedding was over the next day. Yeah. So I didn't have any idea, which was awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And, but after I found that out, I was having problems. I had to go to the bathroom. It was really bad. And so Candy tells me what Alexander says. And I was like, oh, hell no, F that. In that instant, I was like, I'm done. And it went like this. Same thing. Instantaneously, the energy shifted. And I was like, joy. Yeah, the joy's back.
So that was a really long answer to how we got to where we are, because it was like a slingshot. It pulled us way back dark and then shot us forward. And we just realized that we wanted a perfectly clean slate. So closed the yoga studio. A friend of ours had said that she kept seeing us move. And we were just like, yeah, okay, there's nothing here in Indianapolis tying us to this community anymore. We wanted to be somewhere where we could help others and work on ourselves. So a much clearer, open environment.
And then, so from all of this, it took us a while to unwind it. I mean, it was months of us just going, we puzzled and colored for 4 months, trying to understand what happened and what we learned. And one thing that what our friend in Sedona told us was, 75 to 80% of what you learned from this experience is awesome. Like, it's good information.
Valid.
You did get a lot of stuff. And I will say, from the me before we met this guy and the me after this guy, the joy level is so much higher than it was my baseline joy level before we met him. So I know we did a lot of clearing work and got a lot of understanding of how subtle the energies are, because at the same time he was teaching us how subtle the energies are, even though we were
like the rats in the experiment,
right?
Kind of thing.
So we decided we wanted to do a business that would help empower people to be their own gurus. So right before, I'm getting the timing mixed up. When did we find out BQH?
It was still when we were in Indianapolis. It was November. So
before we moved?
No, it was October, right before we moved.
Right. So we found BQH. We'd been watching Allison Co videos, and she kept talking about the training, and I just kept thinking I should do this training. And Candy separately was thinking I should do this training.
And then finally one day we said it to each other.
Couple times.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's funny.
And it just was really perfect because we had spent a lot of time kind of when I first started waking up, I guess, working with a shaman. We both had gone to these shamans, and did soul retrievals, one after the other, month after month after month, just going back, trying to clear.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then the Reiki, and we didn't really want to be, what I hated about Reiki was people would go, "What did you get during the session?" And I'm just like, it wasn't that exciting. I didn't like the pressure of giving them a psychic reading at every stop. So the BQH, we loved it because it was sort of this alternate way to get people to get answers to their higher self, from their higher selves.
And to connect to that energy and what it feels like, because that's what I had ultimately done, was I had given my power away by throwing that request out. But through the process, hearing the doubts and everything that was happening during that time that we were engaged with him, I realized that I had the answers the whole time. I was giving myself the proper guidance and direction, but I was ignoring it. So again, it's okay, if we just open up to what might be coming in and try to clear the channel and trust it, we're probably giving ourselves really good advice. So it's you, Guru.
We did a bunch of practice sessions on our friends and family for free. And these people, they don't necessarily meditate. They're not into any of this stuff. No. And every single one of them had these amazing experiences. Yeah. We were so blown away. But the bottom line that they all took away from it was, you're worrying about stuff that you don't need to be worrying about, really minor detailed stuff. Mm-hmm. And you already kind of know the answer, don't you? Because they're getting this answer and they're like, I kind of already knew that.
Yeah, I've been hearing that in my head a lot.
Yeah, you're giving me confirmation of the thought I had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I go, that's right, I was thinking the same thing. Well,
yeah, right. They just need the validation or the confirmation.
Yeah, very cool.
Now, you ever had a QHHT session?
No,
I have not.
Okay, because I was going to ask you what was the difference between the two, feeling wise. So,
well, I was never inclined to even consider practicing QHHT, and I think for me, it felt kind of like an older energy, where BQH felt a little newer, a little fresher, and really flexible. That's the big thing that I think both of us liked. Was Candace was giving more freedom to the practitioner and even the client, being able to do sessions online and not having to be in person, and really giving you just a very high level framework to work within. Because then it allowed us to use all the skills that we'd already been learning and utilizing in other modalities. So it was like that one piece that we were kind of missing that completed the puzzle. So
very nice.
Yeah.
So you incorporated some of your other stuff into your sessions with the BQH. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we'll get now. If for example, if I'm in the bubble and Laura's asking the questions, and based on the answers that are coming, we're able to identify, okay, this person probably needs to do a soul retrieval. And while we could do that, we're trying to really do the things that make our heart sing. So we've got great people that we can recommend folks to. Or we'll be able to use what we learned from our own personal soul retrievals to be able to talk somebody back to, pinpoint more of an age or a circumstance so that they have some place to start when they're working with a shaman or another healer. So for us, it's probably more of the understanding of how some of these other modalities work, so we can help give them a little bit more direction, where to go next.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to be all things to all people. Too much.
Share the love.
Yeah.
Get out there and spread your wings. Go to the shaman. Go to the intuitive. Go to the Reiki master.
I remember that video where both of y'all were in the bubble, and I called it, oh, look at this, it's a double bubble.
A double bubble. Right. That's awesome.
It reminds me of the Doublemint twins.
That's right.
Again,
That's
back
right.
to twinning.
Twinning. Yes.
Double bubble.
Very cool.
Right. And we've been practicing too with kind of like we went, so at Asheville there's a lot of rivers, and you can go floating on an inner tube. And so we were floating one time last summer, and I was like, Candy, let's just try putting you in the bubble while we're floating on the river. And so we were trying to shrink it down. I mean, the point would be is to like kind of take the steps away so you can just kind of tune in immediately. And then our goal is to start to train people how to do that themselves so that they can, but we've gone through this process of let's do the full, like the shamanic healing and the Reiki healing and the getting the psychic information with kind of being in the Reiki energy, and then going into the quantum bubble with the full script and all the steps, to like shrinking the steps down to trying to just do it instantaneously, kind of like what Tracy does. And then to learn how to teach people how to do it themselves.
Yeah. Because how awesome would it be if in your real life, moment to moment, when you feel conflicted about something or unsure, you could just take a few breaths, tune in, get the guidance, and then re-engage. And so
Right.
that's the goal.
You will do it.
Yeah. One of the 7,000 goals we have, right?
Yeah. Where was that one?
Yeah. Right.
No, you'll do it because you set the intention, so it'll happen.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, were you able to do that process while you was floating down the river?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it worked really well. It helps to close the eyes.
I hope
we finally figured out.
Apply together. Don't separate each other.
Well, I was keeping an eye out.
I was going to say,
she was under.
And there was a level of trust because I could still hear things and feel things, and we were floating. It was really
watch
beautiful.
Out, drunk party bus. Of people over here.
It was a beautiful day, so I could
go.
tell when we'd go floating by a whole nother group of people, because I could also feel like the energy shift a little bit because there were, other humans kind of around the field. So yeah.
And then you start speaking light language, and they're like, "Oh man."
I was just going to say,
Candace,
you do speak the light language, right? Because
Laura does.
Oh, I'm doing everything over here to not speak it right now, and it's like, I don't know if you saw me just twitch.
Oh yeah, no, you can do it. We love it.
No.
I'm still practicing. I'm still learning.
Well, it's ready to come in for you.
Going to have another light language group.
A workshop.
Nice.
Yeah, online channeling. Well, with Reiki channeling.
Oh, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, the light language prayer for humanity thing. Yeah.
Oh, nice, lovely.
Singing bowls,
I'll probably do that. I've actually been trying to put my mind on a time frame, so that'll probably be the 8th of March.
Okay.
And what I'll do is I'm going to put a plug on my YouTube and a Zoom link, and whoever shows up, that's who's going to be in it.
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. So that would be fun.
Yeah.
If someone's doing the bowls, I'll be.
Yeah. He's going to be the pen clicker.
Doing the markers.
He's the markers.
You're going to be highlighting the bowls?
No, I'm going to be like snapping.
Jason's going to be doing an energy dance.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll make sure Tracy behaves.
It's not going to happen.
No.
Nobody can make that happen.
She shouldn't behave. Yeah.
No. And, I just had somebody post on my Facebook that I met over the weekend at the Conscious Life Expo. And she puts on there, here's a picture of me with Erica and Tracie Mahan.
Mayhem.
You only met me a couple of days ago?
It's like, you can't call me Mayhem already.
Yeah, she did it. She slipped and said it first. And I said, that's probably more accurate. And now she's just running with it. And said, yes.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I think Spirit probably had fun with giving me that last time.
Yeah.
So they're like, this will be so appropriate. Watch this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what she does with this.
Right. Yeah, why not? So yeah. Anyway, it would be fun to hear your light language. Are you ready to do that?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm always ready. Okay.
All right.
Washikia wa manaya. Iya kalashikia haya. Yoa makana shikiwi. Lakana shikiewa. Kwala shikini wa manaki shikala hea. Aya shikwa mana iki. Shikikwala hea nakana shikiawa. Ikwe shikwa mana yakle he. Kyawa sheni iwakama. Eni wala shikiwe kai yisha. Wakama neia kanashe.
And what did you say?
I feel like it was more about clearing energy through the body than
You were clearing karma.
karma. Okay, cool. That's awesome.
Would you like to have a conversation?
Oh, I've never done that before.
We're gonna do this just for fun. Just see what happens.
My feet are sweating, just so you know.
Your hands are sweating?
Just my feet. So, I don't know.
Oh, your feet are sweating.
Yeah.
You need to touch.
That's because Jesus is at the feet.
Right. Getting a pedicure.
We got to pay attention to these things. Jesus is at the feet.
Doing one of these.
Yeah. My heart rate is just like, okay, let's get this going. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll speak and then you just respond. And then I'll do my best at the end of that if we'll both just see how it makes us feel and what the message might be behind that. Because we're going to set an intention that this is a message for the community that's watching.
Okay.
All right. Shun the ba ayo kwai se me shwe ma to tichikabuman ya to ma ashu anana de kia to shuko ba ayatan ya ush me kwa tatia se patun no parietre ba shika onda de ba
Oshua Oshukwe Iawa Manashikie Kawahala She Iwamakani Wakalashia Weki Awama Shiki Ukwaima.
Tatasusu mashu to ma oshuva. Eme oshikutun chikio to chikatia no bachikio to tushkotiumana hana chikoto chikme. Tata.
Wainikiawa, Nishikwa me enia la kenia washaka. Akiawa ala kania we ko shukwa ala manahia niawama kanashia. Wakwehia wania la kishikiwa la kanahia kana shikwa mea. Wakanishikiwa la kiawa makania.
Ubashk. And then Hochikunda ma eta to suma a show utoshiki untun and ma shun and yet that you do the mandate to you to chakati.
Meshua Mak. Meshua you
We're gonna wrap it up.
I don't know what you guys were saying, but my body was like,
yeah, you were being worked on. That was funny. But then Laura's going on about she was talking about coming into this human body in this form and I don't know, it was kind of like it was the joke of getting the short straw kind of thing. I'm like, I pulled the short straw, I'm in the human body. So you must have a collective that is watching over you that's like, haha, you had to go down and do the human thing. But they were moving energy and giving Candy, they were giving you the
codes?
Like a download, yeah, a new frequency to acclimate to. Okay. And that was going on for anyone listening. Actually, Jason was getting it too. Yeah, nice. So, yeah. And I do have to say, when I was watching you, I was a little bit jealous of how stoic you are, because my hands are like, and I'm like, why do I move so much? She's just sitting there.
The only thing that kind of came through for me was like the funny part was like, you guys just worry so much about such stupid stuff. That was kind of the message, was all the worrying that we do and how silly everything is.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a great message.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And when people go into the Ascension session, that's one of the things they do is they bring them to the space and then they go, now look at your life. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, that's so petty, that thing. Yeah. And it's like, so that's so, yeah, I'm angry over something so silly. Yeah. And it just shifts things in such dynamic ways. So that's a cool thing. But it's true. We get all caught up. We get kind of bombarded by all this 3D stuff, and then it seems very real, and we let it take us down sometimes. So
yeah, absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
By the way, that was one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time.
Oh, really?
Like listening to you guys talk back and forth. And then the
Oh.
feeling, that was
Yeah.
really cool.
Oh yeah.
It's a buzzy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were sitting right next to it, so
Yeah.
you're getting that energy.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
still shivering.
in March. I'm doing a workshop with a friend of mine, and we'll be bringing in the light language. That's one of the days, learning your inner light language and its healing abilities within your frequencies. So
Oh, smart.
nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Is that like on the internet or?
no, it's going to be in
It's
San
live.
Rafael, California. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we are going to record it and hopefully turn it into something
Perfect.
on the internet.
That would be fantastic.
Fingers crossed that the technology works.
I'm
Always.
surprised we didn't cut out here, right?
I
Especially
know,
with
it's-
Mercury in retrograde.
Right.
Did you know that Laura can light language, or you just had to feel?
No, I just knew when I was talking to him, I was trying not to speak light language, which means they can.
Ah.
That's what I've noticed. If it's starting to come out of me, it means somebody I'm sitting with is.
Because I didn't
speaks
know
it.
which one did the light language, because I think in the video it's just like a picture and
Oh,
like
probably, yeah.
the
Yeah.
sound. So I wasn't too sure who was doing it.
There's
Yeah.
no cover up now. We all know it's
Yeah.
not.
No.
No.
Yeah. Well, I do
Speak
have, I do light language activation. So I will record like three to 5 minutes for someone. And then I make a little mandala with, and just with the app, you can blow things up. So the mandala has a little tiny light language in it. And it's just bright colors. And then
So you draw it out too, then.
I can, I draw it out too.
They're really
Beautiful.
powerful.
Yeah, it's significant. So you get the visual, you
Thank
get the
you.
audio. It resets the whole system. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. We need lots of light language out there right now in the world. So I like it. And Candy.
I started a course and I actually started playing with it. I need to get into a rhythm more than anything.
You
'cause
could just
came
do it
naturally.
right now.
I was going to say, when I was doing the training, it just started coming out. And so I was like, oh, this isn't as
It's
far
just
away as I thought.
Yeah. Well, why don't you just do that with us right now?
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy's gonna
it's
pull
You
what
know
it.
I
what
do.
actually is helpful is if Tracy and I do it at the same time.
Yeah,
This is how I learned it was, we would just go to these workshops and they would have everybody lay on the floor at the end and the
And
main
just do
woman
it.
would just do her light language and let everybody else just say whatever's coming out.
like a chorus of voices.
Then you don't feel so like they're watching me.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off that way, and then we both just stop.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I already knew that was going to happen. You don't even have to start.
You don't? Oh, we
No,
don't. Okay.
you
Oh.
don't have to start because you already
Look at
know
you,
now that
step
you're
in your
gonna
power.
stop.
It's
Yeah,
Look at you.
Exactly.
Do you know who's
Right.
standing on your side? Do you know who's standing on your, I guess that's your left side, right? Correct? Yeah.
No, who?
Is it your
There-
left?
Yeah. It's your left, right? Correct?
This would be my left.
Yes, that side.
Yeah. But are you seeing something or feeling something?
I'm sensing something there. It's very, it's not of the human nature.
Mm. Could be probably one of my higher selves. Probably. Oh, it could be the an Octurian version, because that's, I feel like, what started the connection to light language.
Because one of y'all
Mhm.
channels, correct? Or the Starfleet?
Oh, the Star Being Alliance.
They come in sometimes during their BQH sessions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they
There.
showed up one time. I was like, Candy, you're talking real weird right now. Who's speaking through you?
I was like,
think-
I don't know. We should ask.
I think energetically you're stalling. So let's go ahead and do the light language.
I like you. I like you too, even though I don't like you.
I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and I'm going to see your essence standing over my bed
right
going,
there. Like, remember me, Tracy?
you're going down.
Who's laughing now? I'm stalling again. Okay.
Let's just hear your music.
Okay. Oh, that's a nice way to put it. Anaha wa kaya fana ma kaiwa sha kala fa ma wa kala faya muha hata wa kia mohala faya ka taya inka wana fala ma kawa ta ta ta.
Tata, yes.
Ooh,
But-
hot.
Could you, yeah, it does get you hot. And then where did you feel the energy of that moving in the body?
It's like right in here, like heart to throat. And I feel like a big, just open.
Well, and you stepped so wonderfully into your power, and you just let it come out, and it was just so impactful to be listening to it when you're kind of starting off, okay, I'm going to do this a little bit insecure, and then here I am.
Yeah,
and
I did feel that. It's like poof.
Yeah.
Right in. Yeah, landed.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well, thanks.
I saw.
Congrats, everybody. This is the first time I write language in public.
I saw,
And you saw it here.
It was right here. An exclusive.
An exclusive.
Right.
A dancer, like, I think it was you, a dancer dancing around with a ribbon. I don't know. Candy does not remember this from the 80s, but I used to do.
You don't remember
Get in
that?
shape, girl. It's a da-da-da. You could watch the YouTube video, but it was a little kit you could get to get yourself in shape as an 80s child. And one of them had
with a ribbon,
the dancing ribbon. And that's what you were doing.
Who I was doing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know,
It's very
what would
girly,
really be
very not
what would be
Candy.
really neat to add to this video is a reenactment of that.
Well, Laura saw it, not me.
Yeah, I don't really care who's doing it.
She's leaping. I've got sweatpants on though.
So she's ready to get in shape.
Okay,
now.
I have to say, how many people do that for their videos where it's only the chest up? So it's like jammy bottoms at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to be comfortable.
Exactly.
So, no, Jason, you're not.
No, I'm wearing pants. No,
You're
I'm
wearing
just wearing pants.
Whatever.
We just watched the movie. Taylor Swift has a documentary out, and she's in every scene where she's not like doing something fancy, she's in a sweatpants of some kind. I was like, yes.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, you can only be, formal or dressed up so much. But
Yeah.
this shirt here, this one's so comfortable. It's like a jammy top. It's like
It
this
looks
stretchy.
professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
You look professional.
Thank you.
Mhm.
That's what I was going for. And then I got my Ganesh here to clear the
yeah.
path.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I have Ganesh here on my arm tattooed.
Really?
clearing
Can
the
we
path.
see that? Is there a way to?
Yeah.
Ganesh is
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I've
yeah,
had so many
yeah.
cool things go on with Ganesh. I would love to see your
Jason,
tattoo.
this could quickly become a different type of video if I'm not careful. So here is my Ganesh.
Oh my goodness, that is
Oh, wow. It's got
magnificent.
a sleeve.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
kidding. Wow. Again, bravo.
Get that
Bravo.
tattoo.
What'd you say?
What made you get that tattoo?
Well, I started with a little Ganesh here, and then I did a Ganesh blessing on my ribs. And every time I added a Ganesh, something really amazing would happen. So then I just decided, you know what?
Full on.
On the left side, so to be honest, I've been working really hard to step more into my feminine, to recalibrate the balance, because I've spent so much time in heavy masculine. So I put the Ganesh on the feminine side to clear the path.
Mm.
I like it.
Maybe that's what you might have been sensing, huh?
The dancer.
On the
Maybe.
left
So,
side. Well, the left side energy there.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
very
yeah.
prominent.
You think
Mhm.
it was something else, or you think it was more like?
Yeah, I'm getting this hit that you need to make a mural of Ganesh on your back. Just kidding.
Careful, Tracy.
She
because
might do it.
I love tattoos so much, and
you had
I'm
a
already
soul.
starting to think about what the next one needs to be.
Just an elephant trunk right here at the third eye.
Oh,
Right all the way
God.
down through your nose.
Oh, my mom would die.
I would die.
She would die.
She's like, what happened to my little?
Laura's like, I'm sorry, we cannot go out together anymore.
I am trying to find a man. You can't come with me.
What? Well, this
Or
Don't bring candy.
yeah, exactly.
Your mom could be like, what happened to my little girl?
She grew up into an elephant.
she went all elephant. Some of those feline race people do that. They go all cat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I've seen actually.
They really
some
get
of
into
those
that
tattoos
Lyran
online.
energy. Yeah.
They do. But
And
a
I have to
cat-
say, I don't blame them because that Lyran energy is so amazing.
Yeah.
Have you guys tapped into that?
I've listened to
Nuts.
Lightstar do some Lyran light language, and it's like enticing. I don't know. I want to move. It just kind of pulls you in. You're right.
You want to move? I want to
Yeah.
move. I'm thinking about that.
I want to prowl. Yeah.
Is that your catwalk?
Yeah. That's it. And we wonder why I don't have a boyfriend. Like, I'm real. I got an elephant nose tattoo, and Do a catwalk.
It's just
All
walking
right.
like a cat.
Yeah.
It's like that movie, they did that Cats movie and everybody said it was so creepy because they had the CGI bodies and then the real faces. I
Yeah.
didn't ever see it because
Yeah.
it was really weird. The previews were so weird.
I haven't seen it either, but I've seen the previews, just as
Right.
you're saying. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm still with Candy trying to catch a man when she's randomly spurting out light language and
Right.
yeah, the
Luckily-
human mural of elephants.
Luckily,
Right.
we're in Asheville, and in Asheville, kind of anything goes. So if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Portland, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it weird.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's our motto. Keep Portland weird.
Yeah.
So
Portland is
it's
pretty
written
nice.
on the side of buildings, so why
Right,
not?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Portland
Embrace
was
it.
nice, very clean and very nice.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, it's a
actually
nice city.
high on our list of places to move before we ended up in Asheville.
It was number 3.
Ah,
When are you going to embrace your mantis?
Oh
Her?
God. Yeah. My mantis is there a lot when I go in the induction BQH. Actually, they're always on the left side.
boom. Solved it.
That's it then. That's what I was getting.
Yes. I forgot about that. They come in a
That's
lot.
exciting.
Okay.
Now, do you have claws like Tracy does? When
Yeah, when they come in, they do this with my hands.
Oh.
Oh, cool. Oh, I can't wait to
I
you
don't
can
know.
practice with
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start paying attention.
You're over there. Practice that. I'm going into SpongeBob with Squidward with his little Jesus clicking pins.
I've got so much homework now.
I feel like I need to give Laura some homework.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
I love homework.
Okay.
She does.
Yeah. And do I have permission to look at that? Because I didn't ask you.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just shooting it to you.
I got
But,
on the call with the open sign.
I guess so. You just volunteer your stuff out there on LinkedIn. I figured it was a free
It's
for
a good
all.
to go for anybody.
So I called in my inner demon and said, what is it that Candy needs to know?
I love you, Tracy.
You have an inner dun dun dun.
I really do. Love your so much.
Dun-dun. I called in my dun-dun-dun.
Uh-huh.
I'm just glad I brought all y'all
Embrace?
together. I
Yeah.
knew I was going to
Good
happen.
job, Jason. Good
He's
job.
over there like, no.
My job's done.
He's kind of wishing that was a beer right now. But
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, this
so
is
Laura,
entertainment right here.
oh my God, you got mantis beings, Arcturians, Ganesh, Mother Mary. What the heck? We got Mother Mary, Jesus at your feet. Okay, so there is a frequency though of, and it could be why you're wearing the color you chose today too,
Oh.
of just emanating out this this energy of compassion and wanting to comfort, take care of, heal the earth. And so that's a big energy that you have going on. Oh, they're there. They're showing up now.
Who?
That's what I'm looking to see.
Oh.
There's literally an outline of the body next to you. So I'm seeing like this energy form. Yeah, bring him in.
Laura's staying very still.
Be
Like,
very,
we're not
very
moving.
quiet.
Yeah. That it's so tempting sometimes to be like, oh, no.
Dodge out!
Die! So it's like, boy, I'm glad I'm not in that room. No. Okay, so I'm really getting a totally different vibe with you. It's Bigfoot. It's Sasquatch. It's the Yeti. You've got Bigfoot with you, but it's a very gentle, nurturing energy. And but what they're showing me though is that you have this frequency or vibration that you can shapeshift almost, or move yourself into whatever you want to. Just like the Bigfoot can just phase out. It's like, hey, I'm here. Nope, didn't get that picture. I'm out. And you have this ability to phase in and out of different realms, realities, timelines. You have a lot of control in that. So play with it if you haven't already. To just play with timelines, with getting used to what does that look like to phase into something and phase back out of it. To peek into the future, come back. Which timeline do we want to be on? Well, let's go look. You're over here doing the math all the time, and all you got to do is ask Laura. She can go take a peek at that. Which timeline do we want? If we do this, what does that look like? If we do it this way, what does that look like? If we do it this way, what does that look like? And you have, I mean, everyone can do this, but you are really good at it.
Okay, cool.
So
Sweet.
yeah. Okay.
Thank
Do me
you.
now.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Where did we
Oh, I'm having a total
accepted.
deja vu moment right now. That's cool.
Hey,
So
we did deja vu in the other video.
we did, yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, I'll be still.
Okay.
Ooh.
Are you seeing masculine or feminine? You're seeing the stickers.
The black one.
The black one.
Which one's your right hand? Yeah, the right hand. Okay.
They almost look like it froze, like the.
I'm
Just-
seeing an Indian chief over there.
Okay.
Bringing you luck? I always think luck is a weird word, but okay. Bringing you luck and flowers.
Oh, what kind of flowers?
Daisies. Some kind of energy coming in, like it feels like a past life thing connected with this Indian chief. So Native American medicine coming in. Have you been in like, do you usually work with Native American medicine at all? Is that something normal for you?
I have an old medicine woman that's worked with me for years with energy work and everything. She's probably one of the first ones I've ever channeled with the light language. The Octorian's the first one that has come through and spoke to people, like giving messages. But the shaman woman, if I was doing Reiki on somebody, she would come through and do some language while I'm working on people, make me get rattles and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
so
they just
I'm
said
like,
the rattle.
okay, let's rattle that out. But yeah, so she is connected to that. But I have a lot of it seems I've had lifetimes of that culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a new level, like a new level coming in.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe like the new levels. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what you don't know till that comes in, and then you're like, oh,
Here we are.
Yeah, here we go.
who would have ever thought about that?
More
Yeah.
fun for Tracy.
Yeah. Jason's like, we're bringing in the Indian next week. No.
Right. Let's see what happens. I got a new friend.
Yeah.
I did have
Yeah.
a client that had a past life as an Indian. That was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Her husband died in the woods, and she waited for 2 years for him to come back. Never did.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
That's a sad story, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it gets worse, but I'll leave it at that.
Oh, wow.
It's not the worst
And
part.
that sounds traumatic, which would explain why she brings it in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Tracy, how do you pick up those senses? Like, is it a feeling that comes across? Or, like, do you see something?
Well,
Because you did
so
that.
I wasn't trying to do it with candy. It was just kept popping in, and it would just be a feeling. I was just very drawn to just keep going in that direction, which means they're trying to get my attention over there. So that's what kind of started that, me asking those kinds of questions, because I just couldn't take my attention off of it. So that's how that one came through. And then with Laura, I just set the intention, what's around you. And that's why I asked for your permission, because, you know, I'm going to go over into your energy. So I take my energy into your energy, and I look to see what's around you. And if I keep doing that, I'm going to get more. So, but anyway, so that's what I did there, is I set that intention. And what happened with Laura is, because I set that intention and we got this blank wall, even though you got your sign behind you and this little flashy pyramid over your crown, there's that blank wall beside you. And what I kept seeing is an outline of something there. And I could see that with my physical eye. And so then I just energetically, I guess maybe the empath, Claire, as you call them, the Claires, the empath in me asked, what is it that I'm sensing there? And then I go with, how do I feel, to pick up what that energy is. And that's when, and then I got a picture in my mind of the Sasquatch. And I was like, oh, you got Bigfoot. So I absolutely love working with the Bigfoot energy. Have you guys ever pulled that in?
No.
No, I'll have to play with it.
I tell you what, those guys are magical, and they'll take you to the fairy realm, and you can have a lot of fun.
Oh,
So,
cool. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so enjoy the Bigfoot, and ask him to show you where your dragon is.
Okay.
Go find your dragon if you haven't done that yet. So,
okay.
Yeah. So that's
awesome.
That's how I do that.
It's a little bit of a field trip. Go from Bigfoot to fairy to dragon.
Yeah,
to dragon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You'll be like, your next session will be, this one's dedicated to Tracy and the
right. And the Bigfoot.
I love it.
Yeah. I'd like to see what comes in with that. But I think you would enjoy that energy. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I just want you to when you pull
play
it
with
in.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
So if she's connected to Bigfoot, she needs to go to ECETI.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the list.
It is. On the list.
On the list. Well,
yeah.
Well, we have a proposed date of August somewhere.
Yeah, and
possibly.
I'm waiting because I'm going to be in Colorado in August, but I'm waiting for the dates on that. But I'm guessing it's going to be one of the first 2 weekends of August for ECETI, and then Julia was thinking the 22nd for the Colorado things. So I just want to get confirmation on that before we marry ourselves to a date. So
cool. That's exciting.
That is.
Yeah. So if people are kind of wanting a ballpark, the ballpark is probably the first or second weekend. And if that works, I have to talk to Jason about that. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. Right. That's exciting. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe they can call in the Bigfoot again, like last time.
Yeah, they called them in last time. So
yeah, they had something screaming out there. I don't know what it was.
Right.
What was it, like 2 o'clock in the morning? That screech?
2 or 3. It was weird. Yeah, and we were like, is that a coyote? Is that a what? And they were saying, no, that's not what coyotes sound like. It's like, okay, but it woke us up.
And when I sleep, I knock out, and I heard it. And I'm like, oh shit, what is that? And I'm like, I'm surrounded by people. If it's something bad, they'll knock on the tent. I went back to sleep. And at first, everybody said it was, saying it was coyotes. But then when we walked into where the group was, then they're like, no, that wasn't coyotes. So,
yeah, and they had actually gone into the woods that night at that time and were actually trying to call in the Bigfoot. And then they were hearing all those noises. And I was like, okay, that works for me.
Yeah.
He's like, you rang?
Yeah. It's like, oof.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Careful what you ask for, kind of thing. So, yeah. They were also saying that they could put their hand forward, and what were they calling that? Like a plasma or something, or an energy field that was causing their hand to phase out.
Yeah, like their hand was glowing, like the spark. That's how that girl got her nickname Sparkles.
Oh yeah, because her skin was starting to do that sparkly thing.
Nice. So, okay, you're helping us to want to move this up the list.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a fun place to go. It's very simple. It's a ranch. You bring your tent, or if you're lucky enough to get a cabin or a space there or whatever. But I mean, they've got sheep and chickens and a farmhouse, and he lets people come and camp out, and they have a big shop there to do their events out of. And so I think it's kind of fun. It's very hippie. If you guys like the hippie, that is very hippie.
It's pretty cool. And they let you borrow the night vision goggles. So everybody has
that's cool.
And you saw like lights on the mountains and like flashes.
Wow.
So, and there's guys out there with the lasers, and they're pointing the lasers at the mountains and in the sky. And you look up in the sky, and one guy's tracking it on his phone, like where the satellite dishes are in the International Space Station. So he'll track it. It's like, okay, we're in the clear. There's nothing should be above us. And then you look and you see like things light up, in the sky. Like what was the word they use? Charge up, light up.
Oh, flare up. They flare up. Mm-hmm.
And the next thing you know, they'll say it out loud, and the next thing you know, it'll light up.
Oh, that's so cool.
James is connected for sure. And one of the things I've, was it today or yesterday or something, we were talking about ESETI, and somebody's like, oh, they're coming. They're going to show themselves. You remember last year, they were like, you're not really going to see us. It's like, come on. We came a long ways. And I think I actually only saw one legit ship that was, it was dancing, then it would go back, and then it would do this thing, and then it would go this way, and then it would do this thing, and then it would go that way. And it's like, okay, that's a ship, and it's making sure we know it's a ship instead of a satellite that just goes That was the only one. Once I saw that, I was like, I'm done. But the first night we had a thunderstorm, which was horrible.
That wasn't a thunderstorm.
That wasn't a thunderstorm. That was a drizzle. Yeah.
It was horrible thunderstorm.
That felt good. That was good, relaxing.
And
rain.
Yeah, and so we didn't see anything that night, and then the second night it was pretty quiet, but we had the full moon thing going on too, so there was so much energy. There was just so much energy there. It was just crazy. But I'm already hearing this time we're gonna have a lot different experience with that. So
cool.
Were you there when the light changed in at night, where it went from like a dawn light to like
just dark
blue? No, it was like a light blue.
Oh, it went to blue? Oh,
Yeah,
maybe I didn't know.
Like instant. That was, everybody was freaking out. That was at the I guess James's house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're by James' house, and we're all out there talking, and there was a campfire and everything, and it was like, you know, like a dawn type of light, and the next thing you know, like in an instant, it went from like a yellow nighttime to like a light blue, and we're like, whoa, it's like someone flipped a switch. It was
that before or after the thunderstorm? Was it that night or was it the next night?
after.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
so.
that was interesting. And everybody was like, man, did y'all see that? Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
That was weird. So.
That was weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you go to the ESETI ranch and not have an experience, that would be weird.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's real strange.
So yeah, you can just go with high expectations that something's going to happen.
On the way there, like you felt the change of energy too. It feels something. Right when you felt the bridge, something was going on. So
it's an interesting energy over there for sure. And I had this regression once where the gal that was taking me through it, she took me into, she says, you're going to go somewhere very, very safe. And right away I'm standing at the gate of ESETI Ranch. I thought, well, that's interesting. Oh. And that gives me chills to tell this to you. And she goes, okay. So I'm telling her that's where I'm at. She goes, okay, go through the gate and walk through the path. And I'm walking up their driveway, which is quite a long driveway, but I'm walking up the driveway, and all the houses, all the buildings are in the same places, but everything is just filled with fairies and butterflies and just very high energy fairy world type stuff, gnomes and everything is in there. And I'm just sitting there, but the layout was all the same. And then she's like, okay, now we go to this door, and you're going to go through the door, and that's going to take you somewhere. And I wanted to stay there. I was just like, no, I just want to be here in this little fairy realm. But, that was before we went in last August. And the energy is like that there. I kind of forgot about that regression when we get there. And I was like, oh my gosh. In my mind, all of a sudden, I'm seeing it all lush green fairies and playful little fairy-like creatures and butterflies. And yeah. So it was pretty cool. So there is something going on there that is, I can't wait till we can all actually see it for real.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
It's magical.
Yeah. But it is fun to go in there and just see the people that are drawn to this, and the weekend we went, they had the most people they had ever had there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there wasn't even an event going on. It was just.
They were drawn.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more and more into people's awareness, into their consciousness that it's a place to go. Plus, it helps them have a place to go if it's proven to have magical encounters. Then I think it allows them to open up to it a little bit easier.
Yeah. So very fun. Cool.
And you meet some interesting characters out there too. So.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, a couple of the people in our group kept going, did you see the aliens? And it's like, no, which ones are they? And they're like, they're really tall and they're walking around with bare feet and there's gravel. You got to go across gravel and all these different, all the paths are gravel. And they're just walking right across it. And they're like, they just walk across that like it's nothing. And they're really tall and they're very stoic and they look like this. And I kid you not, I did not see them the whole time. I thought, how interesting that I never saw them. But those two kept seeing them. The two that kept asking me, did you see them yet? Did you see them yet? I'm like, no, I still haven't seen them. And then at one point they even go, there they go. And I turn and I look and they had already gone around the corner. And I was like, I still didn't see them. So it wasn't for me to see. That was for them. But it was interesting that I kept having the experience of not seeing them and they're right there.
Is that the one with the blonde hair? The long
Possibly. I didn't see them.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, there was two of them and it was, whoever saw them, everyone that had seen them said, yeah, I agree. I think they were ETs.
Wow, so that's so awesome.
But if you think about it, we probably all are. So
yeah, exactly.
James, they just say for us to look in the mirror. So
yeah.
Yeah, very true. So.
And if you read Dolores Cannon's book, yeah, it's absolutely true. If you read her book, so
yep.
Nice. So you asked us, how do we know each other? But how did y'all two officially meet? I know how y'all got started.
In a yoga studio.
Yeah, met in a yoga class or?
Yeah, Laura actually taught at the studio that I was a student at that I went to. And my best friend at the time became really good friends with Laura. And I thought, well, if they can be really good friends, then I need to get to know her too, because clearly there's something there worth knowing. And so we didn't really know each other that well. And I celebrated my 40th birthday in Mexico and invited a small group of amazing women, and Laura was one of them. So I really got to know Laura in Mexico, of all places.
And then we came some rumors with this.
Right. And then we came back and started going to shamans together.
It's like, hey, I don't know what this is, but we're going to go. We went together to the session.
Yeah.
For the first shamanic session, it was kind of like talking through these soul retrievals, and we were both sobbing. We were there for 3 hours. It was.
So we got to know each other really well, really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the deep, dark wounds.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's drudge this up in front of your new friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Now they got stories, pictures, and
yeah.
They're stuck.
Yeah. So there was clearly some divine intervention at play to get us together and then quickly move us into a direction.
Yeah. That happens.
It does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we were like, okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
So, everyone talks about these twin flame energies where, these souls come together. Do you think you're the twin flame energy?
I don't know.
I take the romantic piece out of that. I just, that strong connection of that twin energy coming together.
Probably. I mean, yeah, that's possible.
Or it might even be that we're helping to ignite the twin flame within each of us just by kind of being there as a witness and another energy interacting. Because so I've been married before and not always in the most healthy relationships. And, Laura and I work together and live together and we're best friends. So we're together a lot. And it's been a really interesting experiment. And I've learned a lot about myself of being with someone this close to someone this often who's doing their own work and evolving, because it makes it so much easier to see your own reflection of what you still need to work on. So I think in that regard, we could be kind of twin flaming each other a bit.
Yeah.
I'm twin flaming.
Twin flaming.
Flame on.
Flame on.
Flame on. Yeah. So who knows?
That's funny. Yeah.
So Tracy, how do we know each other? I'll let you go first.
How do we know each other? Jason ignored me at the class, the level 2 quantum healing class. He was... It's funny because, we went to Arkansas together, but had completely different experiences there as far as never really, I don't even know, I might have said hi to you in the 5 hugs that you got to give in the front of the class or at the beginning of class. A lot of hugs going on for the classes. And, but I never really talked to Jason in the class. And then afterwards, that was where I got activated with the channeling. And I went home and
I forgot.
Yeah, I went home and all of a sudden, you know, I go to do this trade with a friend of mine to do some hypnosis. And she's like, I want to see if level 2 is different, you know, and so, okay, let's do this. Well, as soon as I tip back in the chair, blah, here comes the Octurian and
Wow.
And she wasn't quite sure what to do with him. She goes, I'm not sure I like that energy. I was like, so she's never done one of those with me again, but that's okay. But anyways, what happened is my friend Valerie, I met her that weekend, and we have a weird story where we worked on the same website as advisors like 5 years prior. And I was on that website for about a year and never did we ever interact. And then 5 years later, God plops us at the same lunch table together in Arkansas as we were at the same event, right? And so I do tree readings. People draw me a tree and I'll tell them what their tree means. And so cool. Julia was having everybody draw trees and she's handing them to me, and Valerie hands me her tree and I'm looking at that and I was like, I know this name because I had them put their first and last name on it. I said, how do I know this name? And she's like, well, what's your name? I said, Tracie Mahan. She goes, well, I don't want to say the website, but so-and-so Tracie Mahan. I'm like, yeah. And all of a sudden we're having this aha moment that we've worked together 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
So we end up doing our thing. I get back from Arkansas and this is happening, and she's familiar with channeling. So she was helping me with that and she was helping me understand it. And so we started making these little videos and putting them on a YouTube page that I think has like 3 people following it. And no, I'm sure we're up to like 70 some now, but we were making these videos, and Jason, I think you saw one of those. And
I did. I did.
And we weren't doing video, we were just doing the audio version. She would ask questions and then I would answer through the channel. And Jason saying, you can't even tell which one of you is talking. I didn't know who was doing the channeling and stuff. And, you know, we were newbies at all of the YouTube-y stuff. So we were doing that. Well, then she needed to fade out of that. She had stuff going on that she needed to fade out of that. And my version of the story is I kept seeing the name Jason. Well, Jason goes by JJ, so that connection never got made on Facebook. He is JJ, and
right,
that's
in the
how
Facebook group, we're all part of this group. So anytime I commented, it was always my screen name, JJ Ballay.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
So I wasn't making this connection, but I'm seeing the name Jason everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on? Why do I keep seeing it? I mean, like no matter where I went, the name Jason was popping up. And I'm like,
in the months, J.
Yeah. So I was like, well, maybe this is the months of Jason. Like, what is that? January or June, August, September, October, November.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, the months of Jason, maybe there's something going on in those months. And so I'm even looking for that. And meanwhile, Jason contacts me and says, you want to collaborate? Or he put it on the page. And I said, yeah, I'll collaborate with you. And so we did a little video. And then he's like, so I saw that you do this channeling thing. Do you ever want to do that? And that was right when Valerie couldn't do it anymore. I was like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we started doing that. And then,
yeah, it was the loud booms in Kansas. I think it was the loud, or
yeah, what were the booms? I forgot about that.
Yeah, what were the booms? That was the very first one. And it was interesting what information came through. But I just said, hey, maybe the next time you channel, you know, with Valerie, you can ask these questions about these loud booms that are going on. And he's like, why don't you ask the questions? I'm like,
yeah, I was like, that's not an option right now. So
I'm like, sold. I'll ask those questions.
Yeah. So then it was one day. So they make a Jason shampoo. So somebody had given me some for Christmas. I kid you not. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So it's in my shower, and so I'm in the shower, and all of a sudden I look over and I'm seeing Jason shampoo, and then it's like, oh my God,
Jason. That Jason.
So when, synchronicity or whatever, the universe was pounding it in my head, Jason. And so there's no doubt in my mind we were supposed to work together, and we've been doing the videos almost weekly. So, as much as we can. Mm-hmm. And so that's my version of it. What's yours?
Well, where to begin? I try to start with the short version because I think Tracy probably heard this like 20 times already. But mine kind of dealt with how I got into QHHT. I was always fascinated with like lost knowledge, lost civilizations, whether it's Atlantis, ancient Egypt, and big fan of Edgar Cayce as well. And I was reading his books, and they started talking about how advanced Atlantis was. I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. And then I was someone recommended a book. Can't think of the name of it, but it dealt with Atlantis too. So I read it, and I'm like, okay. And then it was like more advanced than us. I'm like, wait a minute, how can they way back then be more advanced than us now?
Right.
That caught my attention. I kind of left it alone. And then I was watching Ancient Aliens, and the crystal skulls subject was brought up, and Karen goes, I have that book if you want to read it. I'm like, how do you have that book? Like, I would have never thought in a million years you would have a book about that. And she goes, yeah, I thought it was fascinating, so I bought it. I'm like, okay. And she hands me I don't have it. She hands me this thick book, and I'm like, you read this whole book? She's like, no, I only read half of it. Then it gets kind of boring in halfway through, and I'm like, okay. So I started reading it, and then it started getting my attention, and there was like messages of Carol Davis, how she was channeling the crystal skull, and the messages that was coming from it. I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. You know, and this is all new to me, like raising your vibration, changing your frequency, you know, learning incarnations and past lives. So this is all kind of new to me. And I'm like, and then it brought up how the crystal skull was part of Atlantis. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, here we go again. All right, something's going on. So then doing some research, and I'm like, okay, I came across the Lost Cannon's information and on a video, and she talks about Atlantis. So I'm like, okay, she wrote a book. I'm like, okay, so this is interesting. So she does hypnosis, and she puts them in a past life regression. I'm like, okay, so this should be some great information. And I bought the book and went straight to Atlantis, and the stuff that came out of it was just mind blowing. Like the healing technology that they had, the free energy, the clean energy, and you know, the way they live, you know, everything. And I think you even made a comment in one of your videos how you said that they were like clean hippies. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's what you call them.
Nice.
You know, it kind of was like along that lines, and then how this guy was able to see how they look, you know, how they dressed, and they look like movie stars. They look very good looking. So I'm like, okay. And then here it goes again, how advanced they are. And I'm like, why is nobody talking about this? You know, like why nobody is like, you know, doing a movie about this? So then I've created Guardians of Magic, which deals with all the ancient stuff. And it's like a sci-fi action story to go along with it. On the side, I wanted to do like some kind of healing business, but something organic. I didn't want to do like pills and chemicals, something organic. And then I was reading the rest of Dolores Cannon's book, and she said that how she was teaching her method of healing and how she was having these healing sessions. So I'm like, interesting. So I signed up for the class and did level 1. And then I was like, okay, but I wanted to access like the knowledge, like the spiritual library, the Akashic records. And so there was another thing where it tells you like your life. It's a string. I forgot what they call it. Someone's going to comment below what it is.
Yes. You'll get corrected on that.
This is cool. So I took level 2, and that's when I was part of this whole group with level 2. And that's when I'm like, okay, now I'm at a crossroad. Like, how can I intervene all these projects that I got going on? You know, I have 3 YouTube channels. Like, what's the common denominator? You know,
Right.
I'm like, how can I put all this together? So I think around December. Yeah, it was around December. Go to sleep Monday, and I wake up probably 3:30 in the morning. You know, I'm wide awake, and I'm like, and it's like, some messages were coming through. It's like, you know, kind of like do this and this and this and this. I'm like, okay, well, that's not clear. I don't get it. You know, go to sleep again wake up again Tuesday morning, and the next thing you know, like more information started coming through. Like, you know, this is how you're gonna ask these questions. Is you're gonna do these video collaborations. You're gonna do this, and you know, I'm like, okay. I was like, all right. But how do I begin? How do I do all that? And then Wednesday, I mean, it just hit me like a brick. Like,
awesome.
You need to do this. You need to set up this type of paragraph. You need to say this on Facebook, and that's the message that Tracy saw on the Facebook group. You know how to word it and everything. And all right, cool.
Gosh.
So I sent that message out, and then Sarah, another QHHT practitioner, she saw it. She goes, "That is so interesting. You posted that message because I had a dream about you." And I'm like, "Whoa!" I said, "All right." And she goes, "We were all on stage." And I'm like, okay. She goes, "You was giving a presentation." And I asked her, what was the presentation about? Because I'm like, what? I was on stage? I said, no, there was no way I was on stage. And she goes, you was first, you was speaking. And it was kind of like a speech of like, how did we know the things that we knew at the times we knew it? And then after that, I'll introduce like, you know, whether it was Sarah, Tracy next, and it was kind of like a panel from when I took the conversation. Like I was having a panel and these people were up there. So I'm like, okay, well, this is interesting. So then that's when I hit up Tracy, and then I saw. I'm gonna
segue here for a second.
You was there?
Well, I had the same vision a long time ago, but I forgot about that until you brought it up today. And guess what I talked to Sarah about today? Doing something just like that.
What?
Go ahead. I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, I forgot about that. And that was our complete conversation with Sarah today.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look at that, guys.
So next thing you know, we're doing these videos, and we got a few out, and I'm like, all right, but I still don't know what to do. You know, I still like how to take this and run with it, you know?
Right.
Like I want it to be successful. I want people like to get the messages out there, whether, you know, my whole thing with my YouTube channel with Q.R.E. is to like get information from different sources like channelers, practitioners, you know, hypnosis, you know, the list goes on, and just help bring this information out, because there's tons of information that's out there from like other practitioners that they don't know how to like edit their audio. They don't know how to edit their videos, and they got awesome stuff. And I'm like, well, I can help them out with that, and I can do this, and I can video collaborate these people, you know, because doing a solo video, I find that like extremely hard, but like having that communication is so much better in my eyes. So went to sleep that night, and the next thing you know, it was like a reminder, like, remember to ask the questions. And I'm like, oh, okay. I got you. Done.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank goodness they're persistent.
Yeah.
Right?
I know, huh?
They're like, you still didn't do it. You still didn't do it.
You're still not there. You're still
hey,
not
don't
there.
forget. Wake up.
It's like, man, it's 3:30. I was like, what's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
So all the pieces started to fall into place.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's so nice when that happens.
Yeah.
When it becomes easy.
It really is. Yeah.
Yep.
And when the timing lines up, then it's almost like you can't see yourself not doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have a trip coming up. Would you like to speak about your trip to Spain?
We're so excited.
So
during the
you guys just phased out. You started vibrating so fast.
Yeah. During the 6 months of the Dun 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 experience, Candy had requested to go on. She wanted to go to do the Camino in Spain. So walk
from her 45th birthday.
For her 45th birthday.
Like big milestone birthdays.
So walk the pilgrimage in Spain, and I spent 3 summers teaching in northern Spain, so I was very familiar with the Camino and how it works and where you end up. And I kept opening the maps and being.
I asked her if she'd plan it.
I would open the map and be like, no. And I put the map away, and then I'd open it again and be like, ah, because you can start anywhere. You kind of want to end in the like main town, and it's just a lot of planning. People spend months and months planning it. And so I just kept freaking out. And then we got this call from a friend of mine who runs a tour company in southern Spain. He says, hey, do you want to reach out to your yoga community? We have a couple of trips open on our yoga and Camino tour. And I was like, oh no, because we're going to take those spots.
Those are ours.
And this person that is running this tour company, Manny, he and I bonded about 10 years ago because we both have siblings with Down syndrome. And he was the tour guide on a trip I took students on. And when we found out that we each had siblings with Down syndrome, we just sat down in this plaza and laughed and cried for like 2 hours, sharing these hilarious stories that happen when you have a sibling with Down syndrome. And he's got a big family, and I have a big family. And so he reached out to us. So we had a blast on the trip. It was like such a nice vacation away from the nightmare we were living. But he reached out to us just at the beginning of the year and said, hey, I've been thinking about what I really want to be doing, as you do at the beginning of the year. And he said, what I really want to be doing is I want to be on the Camino. And who do I want to be with? I want to be with you guys. So,
which was awesome, because after the trip with Manny, I said, I don't ever want to go on a guided tour again that Manny doesn't lead, because he's so incredible. And so we talk about intention, Tracy. We have put out this intention of like 3 to 5 years from now, wouldn't it be awesome if we could partner It's You Guru with Manny and Toma and co, and if we could do like a Camino together. But we were thinking like it's out there. And then he calls Laura this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're doing this 8-day trip. This time we're walking from Salamanca, Spain, which is north of Madrid, to Santiago de Compostela, which is the town that is only there because of this pilgrimage. They found the remains of St. James, which put that in quotes, who knows, in like around the year 1000. And then there was all this Catholic propaganda to get people to be more Catholic because they were fighting against the Muslims. The Moors.
How can you be more Catholic? More Catholic.
Be like fight for the cause, because they were fighting for control of the land against the Moors that had come in, the Muslims that had come in from Africa. And so these people started walking, they'd walk out of their house and they just walk to this town in northwest Spain, and they would stay there because it just wasn't realistic for them to go all the way back home. And the idea is that you step out of your house and you walk to this pilgrimage site. And so there's a giant cathedral there now, and there's a town there now, and it's all centered around the end of the Camino when you get to that. And people are called to it. So if people watching this want to watch a movie, there's a movie called The Way with Martin Sheen in it. And that's a really good representation of he's walking the Camino, and you get the idea of what it's like. But so we'll be walking one of the lesser known routes, because it's getting really popular. The main route has like 350,000 people going each year.
Oh, wow.
And so on that route, you're not going to get a lot of quiet private time.
Not a lot of quiet private time. So we will be staying, because Candy and I don't really camp. Well, you said a setting tents, and I was like, oh no, I had to figure something out.
There's got to be another way.
Is there a cabin somewhere?
Right.
So this is the normal way you would do the pilgrimage is you would walk as long as you could. You would stop in a hostel or like another kind of they call them little, I don't know what the translation is, but another type of similar style house where there's just rooms in it. And you're trying to always figure out kind of like where you're staying next. You might camp some nights. We've heard horror stories of bed bugs. And so that's why I was like, I don't know if I can do this. So with Manny's style, it is, we walk probably 20 kilometers a day, about 5 or 6 hours, but you do it right after breakfast until lunch. Then we go eat lunch, and then you're bussed back to your hotel, which is a nice hotel that you're staying in. So we're staying in nice hotels. They're bussing us out. We're walking each afternoon for 5 or 6 hours and then coming back to have. So their whole point of doing this is because it's so stressful, there's like this external stress, which as we all know, creates growth. But the point is that you can not have to worry about your food or where you're going to sleep or your clothing or anything like that, or carrying a heavy backpack and injuring yourself, that you can really focus on that kind of like inner self when you're actually walking.
Yeah. So that's cool. I realize looking back, it's probably the first time the walk that we did in 2018 was probably the first time that I was really talking and connecting to my higher selves. Like I would throw a question up, like, just walking, a thought would go up and I would get either an answer down or something would happen and I would have an interaction almost immediately that would give me the answer that I was looking for. And now that we've done the BQH, now I know what that experience was. It was my higher selves communicating with me. So, you know, we're calling it the Quantum Camino, because we're really going to encourage people to start connecting to their higher selves, feeling what that experience is like. We're going to have some planned exercises, and just kind of nurture this bubble, and being able to just be in it for, you know, as long as people want to play in it.
Very cool.
Yeah, so we're super, super excited.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'll be a great time.
I think you probably hooked a lot of people with that part about the bus and the hotel.
Yeah. We had somebody say, well, is this the real, like, are you really walking the Camino?
Is this the real Camino? We're like, well,
yes.
That's like saying, is this like living a real life? I mean,
it doesn't have to be painful.
It doesn't have to be hard.
It doesn't have to be hard, but people don't understand
This is the 5D Camino.
This is the 5D Camino.
You nailed it. That might have even been a better name.
Shit. We're going to change the name.
Right.
Excuse us.
We'll be right back. Got some more stuff to do. Yeah, it is. Like easy,
That's awesome.
Joyful, fun.
Just add it to the quantum part.
Yeah. Just,
Quantum 5D
fun.
Camino.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand.
It's perfect.
Yep,
We'll
they
put
go
thanks to
together.
Tracy at the bottom of our.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested, we have information on our website under the retreat tab. And of course, you can message
September.
us. Yeah,
And I have a link below in the descriptions. So you walk it, and then you take a bus back to your hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they bring you back in the morning where you left off, and you walk at the next stretch.
Not always the exact same place.
At a certain location.
No.
Yeah. The
Right.
last.
Yes, it is. No.
Well, you have to do the last 100 kilometers
Yes.
to get your certification that you did the Camino. So we will be doing the last 100 kilometers. Like we'll be busing back and forth. But I think one of the issues is, I mean, for posh pilgrims, as we like to call it, is in the main routes, there are towns and places to stay, you know, a lot of places.
Yeah.
You can go to the bathroom every 3 kilometers. On the one we did, the first one we did was Malaga in southern Spain up to Cordoba. And there were no bathrooms. Like you were just going to the bathroom on the side of the road. So that was the roughing it part, because the northern route has a coffee shop or bathroom or something everywhere. So
one day we saw nothing but olive trees. We just walked through olive tree groves the entire day. It was beautiful.
So going back to the hotel is because there's not really enough towns and places to stay in order to make it work. You would have to have a tent.
Mm.
Yeah. So I don't know about that.
Can I share the website right now?
Yeah, please do. So
There's
that's our
Manny.
tour guide, Manny. He's amazing. Talk about a human with their heart just on and wide open. He's a lovely, lovely human and hilarious.
Nice.
Yeah.
And y'all did a video with him, correct? That's the one
We did. Yeah. So there should be, I think it's on that page. Hopefully.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, we nailed it.
Yeah.
It's on the page.
You all look very happy.
Oh, we're so happy. Oh, spending time with Manny is the best.
Yeah, it really is.
He looks like he's full of energy.
He is.
And he loves the Camino so much. Like it oozes, it's a part of him. This whole experience is a part of him.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, that looks like pretty countryside.
Space limited to 11. Guru.
Yeah, because of the busing, we've got to be able to get everybody in the same bus, and we want it to be intimate and just a chance to really share without being overwhelmed by a bunch of people's energies.
And the chance to be able to walk. I mean, you could walk every day without really talking to anyone.
Yeah.
If you wanted to.
Which I did not realize how awesome it is to walk and not talk to anyone until the Camino.
Really kind of get that.
You like wear a certain headband if you don't want to be talked to.
We
Don't
decided
talk to
we're
me,
going
I
to
got
get
a red
necklaces
headband.
or something.
Yeah, we're going to figure out some sort
Yeah, there
of,
should be some sort of code so everyone can respect it and not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like that.
So
Everyone should get a tattoo of some sort, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a face tattoo. There's a lot of symbols. I mean,
you guys
this,
with a face
this
tattoo.
area of Spain is something I think most people don't know. The northern part of Spain is Celtic. So it's green, lush, bagpipes, fairies, witches.
Nice.
Got the Irish, Scottish, English influence up there because they did.
I did not know that.
Yeah, they did come over.
The architecture in Spain is just mind-blowing, isn't it?
Well, it's all it's so different.
Yeah.
Because like this part of the country, so in the south, people are used to seeing the Arabic architecture, but in the north, that is not there at all. So
I'm going to ask a question. I want you to go with the first answer that pops into your mind. Are you ready?
yes.
Just stop that shit.
They say that.
Okay, yes, they did. Tap into your higher selves and go with the first thing that pops in. How many lifetimes have you had in Spain?
70.
240.
Wow.
Is that a lot? That's a lot. It seems like
I don't know. It seemed like the appropriate reaction. Wow.
Whoa.
Laura loves Spain.
I do love Spain.
Yeah,
I do
that
too,
makes
now that I've
sense.
been there, but yeah.
You live there, so yeah, that it makes sense that you're drawn to it with that many, that many frequencies connecting to Spain. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, is this the church that you go to at the end? Is
that is the church that you go to at the end? Yeah. Okay. It's really neat. It's just the energy of the whole thing is so interesting. It's so different, so unique.
It's transformative. Period. Like your life will not be the same after a walk on the Camino. I don't know how you go back to.
I know we were at the end of our first one. We're like, how do we go back and walk for 5 hours every day and still have a normal life?
Yeah, because there's just something about the act of walking and the feeling of progress and clearing and move, like, and shifting that is really, really needed. We don't walk enough.
Yeah,
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah. My treadmill's calling. That's
I gotta
how
get my
I
steps
get it.
in.
Yeah.
Talk to the people about the pricing and the deposit.
Yeah, so the pricing right now, we are having an early bird special. So the pricing of 3,650 euros is good until March 20th when the price goes up. That assumes double occupancy, which means that you are sharing a room with another pilgrim, and we're willing to work with folks. If you would like to share a room, but maybe you don't have a friend going, then we'll try to pair folks up if there's another single. Otherwise, you can do a single room. The price is just a little bit more. All you need is a deposit to reserve your spot, and it's just 300 euros. And the nice thing about euros is you can do the conversion real easy. Just Google it, and it gives you a daily conversion. But the euro price is set. It doesn't seem to fluctuate as much. But you can watch, you can Google it. And I think the first person that booked was watching the price, and when the conversion worked a little bit more in her favor, then she immediately booked. So.
That's funny.
But we do have an early bird discount, and then the price goes up just a wee bit, but enough that we're trying to incent people. If if finances are a little bit of a concern, then there is a little bit of a break to get. And that includes your hotel. So the hotels that you'll have,
Keep that in mind.
There,
the hotel.
it includes your breakfast and your evening meal. Lunch is not included, which will be pretty cheap. I think we're saying
like 15 euros a day.
And it doesn't include any alcohol. So if you want alcohol or whatever, you're buying that. But
includes the bus transportation each day.
Exactly.
The
driver,
Manny.
Yeah. So if someone were to fly into this, what airport do they fly into?
Madrid. They'd fly into Madrid. They'd fly out of Santiago, but Santiago Manny says Santiago in the whole world has the most one-way tickets sold. Yeah. So you can just jump back to Madrid really easily and pretty cheaply. Probably it can't even be an hour and a half flight. There's no way. It's probably an hour-long flight. But Madrid, yeah.
So you'd fly into Madrid, and then there's a train.
Salamanca is about 2 hours by train or bus.
So you would be responsible for getting yourself to Madrid, booking your train, getting yourself into Salamanca.
And we do have a contact who would be happy to help if you want to arrange. We recommend people coming a day early to get the jet lag kind of out of the way.
Totally.
And then if you wanted to spend some time in Madrid touring, we have someone that can help you with that.
Mm-hmm.
I like how you put evening meals, wine not included. I guess a lot of people demand their wine with their evening.
Wine?
Well, Spain.
Exactly.
Wine's not expensive in Spain at all.
It's not expensive, and it's really good.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What a nice package deal, you guys. Looks like a fabulous trip.
Tracy, you have some people in Europe, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I was in Spain last year. I went to Barcelona and made some new friends over there. So definitely, we'll have to share the video with them.
That'd
be great.
Thanks.
That would
be amazing. We'd love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tracy's international. She got people in Italy and Europe,
all over
England.
When that light shines bright, people can't help but see it.
No,
like one of those mosquito lights.
I was thinking more of like like a beacon, but
something lovely.
Speaking of a
And,
lighthouse, right?
right.
That's why I'm always over here like, that's why they're always moving my hands.
That's why you're always sweating. Because you're
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Now
a nice
it's coming clear.
This is a picture of y'all too.
Yeah, that's when we finished. That's when we walked into the town that we ended in.
And
Very
walk in
nice.
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all look like you're ready for a safari.
Yeah, you're carrying your stuff on your back.
Yeah, we have a little day
your
pack,
day pack,
water,
it's not too bad.
snacks.
Gotta have snacks.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always snacks.
It's important. Yeah.
Is there any
And chocolate.
you would highly
Yes.
recommend? Is there any other tips?
Tips. Oh, if you're thinking about it, get your shoes early. Start walking, breaking them in.
Mm-hmm. You
That's
don't want to go with new shoes. Also, double socks or double layer socks. So
Key.
that the socks rub each other instead of your foot. This is good tips for any sort of
I
walking
wear double layer
experience.
socks now when I work out.
Right.
There's no friction in the shoe. That's a big. I mean, you don't have to know Spanish. I know no Spanish.
Oh, that's a good question.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know any Spanish. Manny's there. Laura will be there. So you can come. You don't have to have previous experience traveling. This was my first guided tour vacation. It was my first time in Europe. And yeah, it was my first time on the Camino in 2018. And Manny takes such good care of everyone that Laura and I
Also,
are both type A, and I
Manny-
didn't worry about a single thing.
Manny's a foodie.
Yeah.
So that's important.
We have a broken image. on
Food
that.
is really good.
Like,
Yeah,
we got to
what's
fix
that-
our
what's wrong
broken
with that?
image.
That's all right.
Add it to the list.
Add it
Okay.
to the list. Oh my gosh. That's so embarrassing. I don't know how you're going to deal with that.
I
But
know. Just cancel everything.
my
Oh,
website does it all the time. It's like, what is that about? Why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the shell thing?
Yeah, it's the shell.
Yeah.
It was cute.
I think the parameters is off the size. Maybe that's
It'll be back. It's probably because we were doing a lot of tweaking
Rename
on the
it.
website today, and I might have
Rename it.
accidentally messed up something.
Yeah, it might be gone. We might have to start that over.
nice.
It's,
But,
yeah.
before I go any further, I do love your background. I wanted to always tell you that the background, color scheme, the design. What made y'all choose that? I always
Oh my
wanted to know
gosh.
that. Where did that come
I
from?
don't
It's
know.
like an 80s
Here's
thing,
what
right?
happened. First, we were like,
Playing with colors.
we need color blocks in the back, but they're black. So they're black. And they're like, that's really boring.
Yeah.
What if you just made them colors? And then, I don't know, somehow we started thinking about Saved by the Bell.
Well, yeah, like just having fun and the energy
Okay.
of the 80s and all this stuff. And then
Right.
Laura one night just starts playing with colors, and she's like, look, I think I have a new layout for our YouTube channel. And she shows me, I'm like, I love it. That's brilliant. So we've slowly been integrating it into the website. And the best part is, like, I am really anal about trying to get things to match. And it's really hard. And here, like,
It's purple, it's blue, it's
we're
pink,
wide
whatever.
open here. So it gave us the freedom to be able to express ourselves and with joyous color. And yeah, so
And
it was Laura's.
We're both children of the 80s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we just want people
That was
to
my
know
thought.
you're going to get good intel and you're going to get good guidance when you work with us, but you're also, like, we're going to be a little silly and a little ridiculous and be prepared to laugh. So I think this background
That's the
conveys that.
best. That's the best.
I like it. Always
I
wanted
don't get it. What?
What?
Tracy doesn't understand.
You
it
guys
at
are
all.
real serious, right?
Yeah. I think I need you a little closer.
So quick.
Feel the vibration
Just
now.
quick on the draw.
Just like that, we're back.
Yes.
Feel the vibration now.
I'm gonna tune into you girls, see if I can catch that vibe. So I like it. It works out for me. If you show up on some of my other videos, I'm just saying. It happens.
Like, those guru gals are everywhere.
They're like
Look at them.
transporting
God.
themselves quickly.
Oh.
Your theme song, it reminds me of an 80s song. So what made you choose that theme song that's in your videos?
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's free on YouTube.
And it sounds like the 80s.
It sounds like the 80s.
And it sounds like the 80s.
This will work.
Yeah.
It does. What song is it, Jason? I can't remember.
Here's the other thing we did too, is we narrowed it down, and then we kept playing them over and over and over again, like rapid fire, and we'd be like, oh, get rid of it, it's annoying. So we kept this one because it annoyed us the least.
Oh, That's a good theory. That's a good system.
Yeah.
When I hear that song, it reminds me of that movie Mannequin. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Yes, I
Oh,
love
geez.
that movie so
There we go.
much.
See, we're still in the
So
right
what is the song? Do we get to hear it?
Yeah, let's see if it works. Drum roll, please. Hopefully it's on this one.
I hope it's on this one.
If not, I got your other.
No, we didn't put it on that one.
Dangity dang.
It's on the homepage
Okay.
though.
Does everybody like fall in love with him? He's got like the
Yes.
most gorgeous
Yes.
smile.
He does.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
You guys should make more videos. I don't know that there's enough of them there.
What is
We
happening?
have a million.
Oh my goodness, Mercury is in retrograde
I
all
don't
over
know.
your
It is
site.
failing.
It's failing.
Okay. Yeah, we do have a lot of videos. And the 80s just threw up all over our channel.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, here we go. I want to hear it.
Oh, it's really short. I have to
It's
play it
just
again.
A few seconds.
You even got your stuff to dance.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
animated that myself.
You guys are like so cool. Wow.
There's our courses.
I might have to friend request you or something.
Oh,
please do.
Yes, we would love to be your
Yeah, I'm
friend.
being very like specific about who
That
I
got
am.
really
watching.
weird.
Better watch what you ask for.
You better watch out.
I have so many cat videos to send you. I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
God, I love the cats.
I'm just gonna blow up your inbox.
There goes my day.
Yeah.
Weekend, year, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Tell us about the courses that you offer. I know
We
that
have
you got your fucking magic.
Oh,
I was
thank
going to say,
was
do you
are we allowed
allow
to say that
swearing on your
word?
channel?
I don't know.
We've been holding ourselves back.
Yeah.
You've been holding back.
Yeah.
We have it holding back.
Yeah, that's our signature course.
That course goes all the way from like doing your inner work to working on your intuition to trying to work on figuring out your life's purpose.
Yeah.
It's got it all.
Yeah, a big part of it focuses on being able to see what's standing in the way of you tapping into that intuition and that higher self connection. So it's a fun one, and it's a big course.
And we've just broke it down too into small chunks. If you want to buy pieces, you can.
Mm-hmm.
And then Candy has a Holy Fire Reiki certification.
Yeah, level 1, 2, and 3 will be coming. They're just not there yet.
And then I just finished a third eye activation course, which we haven't really announced yet. So surprise. here it
Another
is.
exclusive.
It's all happening right here.
Right here. And that is all about it's like basically it's remote viewing training.
Yeah.
So it's teaching you to take your consciousness to either alpha or theta, to theta, and then to create a psychic workshop, and then to go there, and then to kind of have a step-by-step process to work on healing yourself and healing bodies, to even talk to deceased people, talk to your higher selves, talk to spirit guides. There's just like a step-by-step process to do all of that. What I love about it is the introduction, the way when it's setting everything up, it's sort of like you get a proof that you've actually traveled remote view to a location.
Yeah, it's
because
a cool
then you
course.
get to look at that location on Google Maps and pick out the little things that you picked up from visiting there.
Yeah.
And it's the third eye activation.
Third eye activation. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then there's a chakra course. And that's pretty much it.
That's it for now. We've got, again, a long list of other things. So many things we want to create.
I like how you got
More to come.
88,
Mm-hmm.
77.
Yeah. We did all samesies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Very nice.
Thank
Looks
you.
good.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
You guys are so put together.
We work really hard.
We do.
And then we take a lot of time off, and then we work hard again.
This website.
That's good. Yeah.
We did it ourselves. This is the Thinkific platform, but
yeah, they make it easy.
they make it super easy. So yeah, all we had to do was the content and the graphics.
Which company?
Thinkific.
Oh, Thinkific.
It's up there on the URL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a lot of research, but that was our favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
That's
one.
good. Good to know.
Yeah.
You get a
Nice.
lot.
Very, very nice.
All right. So everybody's going to go check out those courses. When you get it all figured out, I want you to come back, give me a reading, tell me what my grandma has to say.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's nice.
Next topic. What is your definition of ascension and awakening?
Oh.
What would you call it?
The reaction.
I know, it's the same. Awakening for me is just questioning.
Yeah,
Asking questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, asking questions and not taking things for granted, but just, I want to say like looking at everything as kind of a sign, but that is almost maybe too advanced, even beyond just the basic level of awakening, which is just for me being kind of just wondering, oh, is that really true? Not just taking things at face value, I guess.
Questioning everything. Yeah, I agree. And I would say for me, I think ascension is, it's that constant evolution, and it can come in all kinds of forms, but it goes hand in hand with awakening. It's questioning, but then focusing on what makes me happy, what makes me feel good, what makes me feel light, and letting go of the things that weigh you down, because, ascension, we're going up. So we've got to cut the baggage and let the other stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to do both together, but your awakening can be really heavy, and all the questioning, and like, it's easy to spiral down with the unknowing. So I think it's really important to have that ascension energy matched with it, so that you can question, but yet question up and let go. And we've both worked really hard to get comfortable with the gray, with the unknowing. Like, we have these questions we may never know the answers to, but we're getting more comfortable with our own guru, and that, body sensation of, this feels like a truth to me, this doesn't. So I'm going to stay with my internal compass, and I'm going to steer more towards my own truth. And then things just get easier and happier, which is why we laugh all the time.
Exactly. Yes. Like that. Easier, happier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
So you have light language that was taken care of today.
Yeah. Check.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So what kind of future goals do you have?
Yeah. What's the big plans for the future?
Yeah.
Well, Jason, a good friend of ours told us not to share too much, because then other people start putting their energy in your dreams, and it can start to kind of fucks with it a little bit. So at a high level, I think we just want to help as many people as we can while still loving what we do.
That's a brilliant answer.
And we don't know where it's going to take us.
Do you have any more trips in the future, like gatherings or troop?
Not yet. We have things like rattling around in our brain about ideas, bringing people to Asheville for stuff.
Yeah. And we'd love to travel and, do gatherings, especially within the United States. Since our first trip is in Spain, it feels so big, but we would love to
add anything to that yet.
Yeah, we'd love to do little trips around the States where it's easier to see people.
Conferences too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it'll happen.
Maybe we'll all be at the same place sometime.
On the panel.
Yes, on the panel.
Why Jason's on the stage
Jason's
introducing
panel.
us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jason's
Make
panel.
that happen.
That's awesome.
We can make that happen. We talked about manifesting with a few people, and manifesting is one of your topics. What do you recommend, and what are your tips and advice for manifesting?
Candy's a really good manifester.
That's right.
Except last year for a while, I thought my manifester was broken. But I was just trying to do too much at once. Yeah. So the thing that works really well for me, and this is what I tell a lot of people, is pretending. So giving yourself permission to exist in the energy of where you want to be. So for example, before I bought the yoga studio, I used to drive around Indianapolis. As ridiculous as this sounds, I used to drive around Indianapolis, and when I'd pull up at a stoplight, I'd look at the car next to me and be like, that's right, I own a yoga studio. And I just feel into what that yoga boss energy was. And I would see the day, and I would imagine when I was running errands that I would, left the studio and was running errands before I went home. So I would immerse myself in that and feel the energy of it. And I think it starts to call it to you, because I was just dreaming about it. And then all of a sudden, this opportunity to actually buy a yoga studio opened up, and I just stepped right into it. And I wasn't surprised, because I'd already been feeling my way into it. So it was, when it presented itself, I was like, oh, well, yeah, of course I'm supposed to do this now. And you just kind of keep going in the flow. So I use pretend a lot, and visualizations. And then, you know, our higher selves are so powerful. You know, Laura and I talk about the fact that 2020 is all about the man plan, that we're working to manifest partners. And I have been playing with, wonder what it would be like to date a musician. And then lo and behold, I'll go on a date with a musician. I'll be like, I wonder what it would be like to date a Virgo. And then I'll go on a date and the person will be a Virgo. So it's like just throwing it out and being open to it coming. I've been able to check a lot of things off the list.
I wonder what this would be like kind of thing is.
Yeah.
That seems
magical. You got to make
yeah.
sure you want to experience that.
You want to have that experience.
Right.
But yeah, so, you know, just opening the heart and allowing things to come to you without defining how and the method. That's worked for me.
I think for me, it's like deciding and not giving the universe another option is what's worked for me in the past. It's like, this is what's happening.
Now, what's your astrological signs with that? Is there like energy? Okay, so you're Aries, and then what are you, Candy?
Aquarius.
Okay. Do you think that plays into it, like your frequency or your vibration of your sign, your map of the world?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Human design, the cards, astrology, all of it.
Right.
Yeah. Done it all. Numerology.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what works, the moment something works, like that's the key. The first time you do that what if or that command and it works, then like just stick with it. You know,
hold your system. Yeah.
Right.
Nice. All right. I wonder what it would be like to be on a panel with all three of us and Jason introducing us and asking us questions.
Right.
I wonder what
amazing.
that would.
I have to control y'all.
Jason's
like, I wonder what it would be like to not do that.
Come on, ladies.
I wonder what it would be like to hire that job out to somebody else.
Oh, no. That's funny. Well, you know, we kind of did do that because we were wondering what it would be like to collaborate with both of you, and we put that intention out, and here we are.
Here we are. Awesome.
Yeah,
I love it. And we too have had the vision of being on a stage in a group and panel style as well. So
yeah, I can see it.
All right.
I can definitely see it.
Coming.
I can see that happening. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be surprised.
Reel it in.
Pulling it in.
Wonderful.
Next topic, you have false gurus and dark magic. Did we already talk about that?
We
pretty much covered that.
That was dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. You guys got to really play up the last part of that. Dun dun dun. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's true.
I'll be looking for that next time. Just so you know.
Dun, dun,
usually
dun.
we're just using a casual conversation. Like, remember when dun 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 said da 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 da?
Yeah, at first it was like that, and now it's just like
it's fading out.
He's fizzling.
But there's still an eye roll going on there. I noticed it.
Yeah.
I
roll my eyes all the time.
Sending dun 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 love.
It's our
what a great lesson.
Our matching Karen energy.
For Karens.
You know the Karens.
You know they're calling Gen Xers Karens now.
Are they?
We're like
that, by the way, because someone
I don't know because they're moms. They're the age of being a mom now. But somebody was like, "Look, if you really understood Gen X, you would call them Heathers." Clearly,
first of all,
from the movie Heathers with Winona Ryder.
But yeah,
they're like,
I haven't seen that, but now it's on my bucket list.
It's kind of psychotic. I think they're psycho.
Yeah, very much so.
They kill people or something. Yeah, it's
wow.
A teenager where they murder. It's really weird. It's a really dark movie.
And what is this? The Heather movie?
Heathers. Just
the
Heathers, because there's multiple people named Heather in the movie.
And they all crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry to all the Heathers out there.
Talking about Karens.
Yeah, so the eye roll is a big thing with Karens.
It is the Gen X.
It's like a meme too, correct?
Yeah, totally.
There's
lots of Karen memes. They just they doubt everything, question everything. They're annoyed by everything.
Yeah.
They're fun.
They're skeptical. They're the first generation to be like, we don't believe you about any of this.
Right.
None of this is true.
It's all false.
And you need to take care of me. Yeah. Does that fall in there too?
Fix it.
Your job to fix it. Take care of me. Make sure I have food, water, shelter.
Yeah.
Or is that just a different generation? That's the
millennials, maybe.
The millennial babies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we love all of you.
We're the ones that demanded some pulp in our orange juice.
Yes.
Just some pulp.
No pulp was bad. Too much pulp was bad. We want
some pulp.
Some pulp.
Oh, goodness.
Yes. Yes.
The best juice
Getting
right
really
there.
picky. Getting very specific about things.
Very specifically vague. Specifically vague.
Is that how y'all like your orange juice, or is that
No,
This generation.
It's there's a really good comedian called Gary Gulman, and he does this whole bit about the greatest generation. His parents are the greatest generation. And then he said, in our generation, I don't really know what generation he's in, if his parents are in the greatest generation. He's probably he might be a cusp, like not quite Gen X, but just above that. But he goes on this whole thing about how we want just some pulp in our orange juice, not no pulp, not all the pulp. And then he goes into this whole thing about how on our phones, we want our music, not just our music, but all the music on our phones, and how how screwed up our generations are versus what the greatest generation did.
Karens are never happy kind of thing.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
All right. Wow.
Karen, are you happy?
Is that your
Oops.
Is that your wife's name?
Yeah.
Ask her if she's ever happy.
That was the best, to just have him turn his head and call out to her like that. Karen, are you happy? She's probably not, because it's like after 9 o'clock there. And she's probably like, you're still on that call.
Oh, yeah.
With all those single ladies.
Yeah. We can cut it off.
All the single ladies.
No.
All right, cool. Tracy, you want to take us out? You want to wrap it up?
Do I want to take us out? Well, thank you everybody for joining us on this fabulous interview with the It's You Guru team, Laura and Candy. And thank you for watching us here. Thank you for following us on our YouTube, Jason's, mine, and now yours. So go over to It's You Guru and follow these ladies. They have fabulous advice and wonderful trips that are coming in the future, and you're going to see us all on a panel here real soon.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So the live versions of us are coming, it sounds like, and so wonderful. And you guys had your website posted, but please just say it out loud for those that are listening that would like to just go run and type it in. It's going to be in the link below, but let's hear it.
It's youguru.com.
.com.
I was hoping she'd say it.
I know. Sorry.
You guys have done everything together, and you really botched that. So let's do it again, okay?
Okay.
So, hey, ladies, how would people find you?
It's youguru.com.
Yay!
Jason's hands are perfect.
Frame it.
Got it. All right. And
Perfect. Now I have links to their YouTube video, their website, their courses, and so on. Make it easier. And then you have an Instagram page too. So
Yep. All of our social medias, It's You Guru.
Here's the thing. We were trying to come up with a name, and all I know is our higher selves were like, look, they're not going to stop coming up with a name until they can find something that has the Facebook, the Instagram,
the YouTube,
the website URL, and it's all clean. And so that's how It's You Guru was born, because they kind of just gave it to us, but they knew we were only going to accept one that was across the board. Everybody it would be there.
Because I
that makes sense.
Remember one thing.
I know.
And it's easy. Easy.
Perfect. I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm sure everybody on the planet's going to see more of you ladies. So thank you for all the wonderful work you're doing with the Ascension, with helping people figure out who they are and be healthy at the same time, and just be positive, happy people. That's what we need. Thank you.
Thank you guys. So wonderful. We'll see you
Bye.
again real soon.
Thanks.
Oh,
Dogs might start to howl, but whatever.
It's fine. Yeah.
hey, speaking of, mine's right there.
Aww.
In position. Aren't you? Aren't you in
My
position?
goodness, so cute.
Oh.
Thanks
And-
for your debut.
I've got my Jason paraphernalia going on here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
nice.
I received my mug today.
Awesome.
Where's yours, Jason?
That'd be funny if Tracy has the masculine and I have the feminine.
Is that are you guys like? Is that how your energy lines up opposite or no?
I don't know. We don't really know each other very
The
well.
way I drew it was like this.
So it doesn't matter if it's pointing up or
Guess not.
down.
Yeah.
It's forward and back. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, can you keep holding that?
Yeah. We can also take a picture and send it to you too.
That'd be cool.
You're
Tracy.
hey,
Yeah.
you're awesome. I like you. That's a keeper.
That's a keeper.
Let me pay a penance for someone else. Yeah, hold it. I'll hold it the whole time.
Yeah.
Just like yours.
Well, that's too bad. You could have been closer to me.
Why
We
Ash?
could still come visit.
I could fit right in the middle there.
Yeah.
I'd be like
That's a good question.
slowly
Why Ash
peeking up in between
Yeah,
the
like-
two shoulders.
It'd be like,
And then there were 3. Yeah, that could be the name of your next show. And then there were 3.
And then there
I
were
think
3.
we should just get a life-size cardboard cutout of
Yeah,
Tracy.
Oh my God, totally.
Get it right here.
Yeah, yeah. We could
Put our
totally.
arm around it.
You know what? Hold on just a second. I'm going to do something. Jason's going to
boy.
just be editing the crap out of this thing. Okay.
I don't know
Now,
if it's too funny. It's,
I'm going to want you guys to kind of split apart a little
Okay.
bit.
Make
Okay.
some space.
Oh my God. can
Right
you
there,
put-
like that. Okay. And smile. Okay, perfect. Now, Jason, do you know what I'm going to do?
I think so. Does it deal with an alien?
Yes.
Oh my God, that is awesome. Oh yeah,
so
you said it was
real.
your background.
That's right.
We're in
Oh
Portland.
my God, we're bilocated right now.
I've always wanted to just be in 2 places at once.
This,
I think
this
that-
is just it, right?
It's totally.
It looks so natural, like triplets. Or like
Right.
triplets. It's happening.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Start channeling, Tracy. Start channeling.
Oh my gosh, you guys have much better color though. I look a little pale.
You look a little vampire-ish right now.
I do. Oh, okay, so we'll go back to normal here. I won't creep
Oh
you
my
out any
goodness.
longer.
No,
But
That's too
Now that's
funny.
staying in there.
I
Yeah.
could never see myself physically making the drive past Kansas on the way to Portland. Like driving out, I kept getting stuck in Kansas, which is significant because Kansas next to Indiana is the last place that I want to live. And I was like, oh my God, I can't get stuck there.
you're not in Kansas
sorry to
anymore.
everyone who lives in Kansas. I'm sure it's amazing, but I have not had amazing experiences there.
I would not live in Kansas just to not hear the Wizard of Oz reference.
Right.
You know, how many times does those poor people have to hear that?
I
Every
know.
day, lots of
I'm
times.
not in Kansas
So if you're in
anymore.
Kansas, we're praying for you.
Yeah.
Mhm. We are. I have lots of friends out there. I love you all dearly.
Prayer emoji.
Prayer emoji.
Followed by the poo emoji.
Is that the-
That
Is
is
that
it.
it? I think I did that in the channel.
But you
didn't
and
I?
us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the poo emoji.
The
yeah.
unpoo.
It's an unpoo. Yeah.
Okay, let's
Oh my
unpoo this
goodness.
situation.
Right. Sorry, Jason.
I can't wait to see the final cut of this.
The uncensored.
It's gonna be 30 seconds long. That's all the useful content.
No, this is all
Yeah.
entertainment.
Oh my God.
This is what it's all about. Good
So
time.
we met the girls, the Guru girls, and there you go.
See you next week.
We got together, we
Here's all the good
collaborated.
information, and here's all the other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait,
Um,
did we get to the first part yet?
No, we got a couple of good things out.
That's good. We got the juice.
We
Yeah.
got some channeling. We got a premiere. So yeah.
Yeah.
Enlightenment.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Tracy,
So
you're
oh
gonna
my
need that
gosh.
image again. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need the
I need to
background.
get my buddies back up here. Let me channel you in again. And yes. Mm.
That is,
Feeling the love.
I think
Me
they
too.
froze.
it's the first time you said the first. He said, "I think you froze."
No, we were just paused. We didn't
Just hanging
freeze.
out.
See, that's how good we are.
Yeah. We also hold our breath the whole time. when
Yeah.
we do
You
that,
just
so.
froze for that the whole time?
Yeah.
Is that what you were
Lucky
saying?
we didn't
Wow,
pass
moving.
out.
Yeah.
I thought it could.
Yeah, let's okay, I need to find you on my little thing here. Oh, here we go. Okay, we ready?
I use that to
Oh, I gotta get in position. Oh, my chair's in the way. There we go.
That right there is Heather's. Right there.
That might be the
I
thumbnail
don't
right
think they're
there.
smiling.
Here
Tracy,
we are.
take a picture of that one.
Oh,
Okay.
so
You have to take a
Yeah.
picture of that, Jason, because I'm in the middle of it. Let's see.
You
Can I do it?
What did I do? The snippet tool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the snippet tool.
Make sure we're all smiling before you do it. Ready? Oh, I guess only I need to
Oh, wait,
smile
wait.
because you guys.
We've got permagrin.
You guys are already frozen in it. Oh my God. I'm just going to.
What you wearing, the aviators?
Yes, yeah. With the messy hair. That's me.
Oh, wow. No wonder you're getting the musician and the Virgos and the.
Right.
Watch out for those Sages. They might be after that too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Well, this was really fun, you guys.
This was so much fun.
We'll have to do it again,
Yes.
and on stage. We'll do it on stage. I wonder what that will be like. Let's find somewhere really cool to do it. I wonder what it would be like to be on that panel in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh, talk about the Lemurian and Atlantean energy there.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on, Jason. You got that interest. Let's find the perfect Atlantis place for all of us to meet and hang out.
Bahamas.
Oh yeah,
Bahamas. That's what I was just hearing.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. You guys are so tapped in. I was just hearing that.
Bahamas.
Just like I was getting that mural tattoo impression in my head for Candy.
I gotta go. I gotta talk to my artist.
Can I pick it out?
No. No.
You're gonna have a Ganesh going like this with 6 different hands.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't think so.
Coming soon.
Awesome.
I'd like to do that to put Jason under pressure.
Yeah.
Right.
Under pressure. I love it.
Sing it. Do it.
Under pressure. Pushing down on me. Pushing down on you.
And there it is. As long as Karen's happy. That's all we care about.
Yeah, she's eating, so she's happy.
Okay. Good.
Okay.